What's good, everybody?
Hey, everybody. Oh.
So I just want to point out before we even get started.
Okay.
You know, we still ones, except for this old boy right here.
You got to move your mic.
I can't. I've crossed out Paul Heyman's face in solidarity with the bloodline.
Poor Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
But he made his choice. Now he's got to live with it. He's made his bed. Now he can sleep. He's got to fucking lay in it
with a beast.
Brock Lesnar.
He's got to. You know, that's the weird thing. We're gonna start a rumor. Paul Heyman actually has to sleep in the same bed as Brock Lesnar. Mm-hmm. He was allowed to sleep in a room next to Roman Reigns, like in a separate room,
a closet next to his bed.
He had a nice he had a nice chair in there, like a love seat. It was a big closet.
Yeah, but
he has to sleep in the same bed as Brock Lesnar.
You never know when your role as, what is he called? What does Brock Lesnar call him?
His humble advocate.
You never know when your advocate duties are needed.
Right.
If that's in the middle of the night, so be it. You need to be ready.
Right. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, welcome everyone to another pay-per-view. Today we were talking all things Royal Rumble.
Very excited. This is our my first ever live Royal Rumble. Like
right.
Seeing it in the flesh. Very exciting.
And it's my first one since we've gotten back into wrestling. Yeah. So that's super cool. I've got some friends hitting me up about what they think is going to happen at the Rumble. And you know what? Y'all are my friends, so we're going to hit you up with what we think is going to happen at the Royal Rumble tonight.
And we also want to know what you think's going to happen. What you think's going to happen?
What you think will happen?
What you think will happen at tonight's Royal Rumble. If there's anything I know about Royal Rumble, it's to expect nothing. Well, expect nothing because, what am I trying to say? I'm losing my mind. What am I trying to say? Expect the unexpected.
I was going to say, Vince has been saying that for weeks now.
Yeah. Interesting. We'll get into theories as we go along.
Right.
And maybe save the wackadoo ones for the end.
Yeah. I would just sense quite the call. So I'm excited to share it as a buddy of mine who also is into wrestling. But anyway, what's first on the docket, Kendra? Bloodline, bitch.
It's me, Bloodline. Oh, we were gonna. I didn't know how to do it in a way that would combine like both of our sub names together. That wouldn't cover the chat. But you've heard of the It Couple. You've heard of the Grit Couple. John and I are the Shit Couple, and we're proud of it.
Because we the shit.
Because we the shit. Or we're really shitty people. So first up.
What's first?
First things first. Like, as per usual, no idea what the kickoff show is going to be. No clue. Could be anything. I don't know. I'm trying to think of, like, anything that they've been setting up that wouldn't make it into the actual Rumble, but...
It could be the... tag team match, the mixed tag team match.
That's also what I was thinking, but I don't know. That seems pretty big.
That seems like a big, yeah.
Beth Phoenix is back for it.
Right.
So I don't think so.
I wonder if they would be so bold as to do Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental title. The Intercontinental title.
That's possible, but they're both in the Rumble. But that doesn't mean that they're in there for long.
Right.
Anyway, so at this time, we don't know what the kickoff show is going to be. Hold on. I feel like I'm really tall right now. Or, I mean, I'm short. I look short.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller.
Anyway, so the first thing that I want to talk about, let's get the Rumbles out of the way. Got a lot of people to go through. Or do you want to save those for last? Let's save the Rumbles for last. I think that's where the most theorizing is going to be. The most crazy shit.
Right.
So let's start with the It Couple and the Grit Couple. We have Edge and Beth Phoenix versus The Miz and Maurice. And they've been hyping this one up for quite some time.
Yeah.
I would like to say that I called Beth Phoenix returning.
You did.
Pretty proud of myself. I've never seen Beth Phoenix wrestle except for this past Monday when she whipped out those huge guns.
I thought they were going to have to evacuate the building. She brought those big old guns.
She's strong. She was destroying grown men.
We both were like, what the fuck?
I appreciate it. And I would like to say, I love Maurice. Unexpected. Like I didn't know anything about her. I knew that the Miz was married and they called his wife the Mrs. because like
Miz and Mrs.
Yeah, and I liked Miz, but I like Maurice more than I like Miz.
Yeah, Maurice is fucking hilarious.
She's hilarious. She has perfect comedic timing.
Yeah,
so good. This is I think my first live mixed tag team match. I made a comment about that on a previous live stream. No, because of the fucking 24/7 matches.
Yeah,
the recent ones. Fair. This will be the first mixed tag team match that I care about. Oops. And I think it's going to be a really, really good one. I've also never seen Maurice do anything more than hit someone with a brick.
Yeah. That's one I called.
You did call that.
I was so surprised I was like, she probably has a brick in her purse. All of a sudden, she had a fucking brick in her purse.
She whips out a brick. Anyway, I think it'll be a really, really fun match. I think I think Edge and Beth will win.
They'll probably win.
Yeah. But it would be kind of crazy if they didn't.
Right. I mean, it would be an interesting, if they were to do this, and I'm only basing this off of Edge's last big feud, which was with Seth Rollins. Mm-hmm. If he does like a trilogy of matches with people,
right, then
I can see if they cheat their way into a win, that'll set up the final match between Miz and Edge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like watching Edge. Just in general.
Yeah.
But so I'm excited for whatever. But I also think we're going to see Edge and Beth Phoenix because it's the return of Beth Phoenix. Probably her last time returning, I would imagine.
Yeah. Unless
she's straight up making a comeback like Edge.
Yeah. I don't know.
You don't say.
But yeah, I think that it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be interesting. I don't know if I can really predict any like craziness that's going to happen because it's truly like who could fucking guess. But yeah, I think if the Miz and Maurice win, it's gonna be on some fuck shit. Like they're gonna have cheated their way to the top. But sorry. But yes, I'm excited for that one. Love Maurice.
Love Maurice.
Love Maurice. All right, next let's talk about
not Bruno.
God, let's not talk about Bruno. Let's talk about the Raw Women's Championship. Because this is an interesting pairing. So we have Becky Lynch versus Dewdrop. And again, this is for the Raw Women's Championship. This is not a pair that... Oh, I can see Stella in the background.
Oh.
Hi, Stella. Hey, bud. This isn't a pair that I would have foreseen. Especially being like I am shocked that Dewdrop is in a championship match at Royal Rumble. Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah. I mean, on the one hand, good for her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think we got the proper Dewdrop build up.
Right.
And everything happened so fast. She was introduced and then she was like a face side character.
Right.
For Eva Marie. And then she made that heel turn so quickly after being on her own.
Right. And
too quickly.
Yeah. And all of a sudden she's having a championship match with Becky Lynch.
And compare that to someone like Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Who has been vying for like months and months and months.
And since they've been using her, Liv Morgan, better, like she's been really impressive to watch. Yeah. And just, she's been just awesome. So, I mean, it
feels a little slapdash that they have these two together. But hearing them talk to each other is a great time because both of their accents are fun to listen to.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who's going to win this one. I think Becky Lynch will win. I think Becky Lynch will ultimately win.
I'm not going to say I know, but I think Becky Lynch is going to win.
But I'm just wondering how they're going to do that.
Yeah.
Because they set, Dewdrop's she's a powerhouse. So like they set that up pretty evidently.
Yeah. Which is kind of nice to see because Becky Lynch is so tiny.
Well, I mean, yes, I wasn't necessarily talking about size, but I guess that does play a big factor in it.
I thought that's what you were saying.
But anyway, all that to say, I do think Becky Lynch will retain. I think they're going to set up a big WrestleMania match for her. Yeah, I don't know.
We'll talk about what WrestleMania match I want to see with her when we get to the Women's Rumble match. But yeah, I have to agree with you. I think Becky's going to retain, and we're going to get more of this glorious ego that I can't help but enjoy. And I don't know Dewdrop wise where the story goes, because there hasn't really been a story to like follow.
Right.
I don't like her as a heel.
Yeah, I don't know.
I liked her better as a face, is what I should say.
I feel like they set her up with not a great tag team partner. Not that I didn't like Ava Marie for who she was, but just like they didn't really set them up as a team.
Yeah.
So I think if we put Dewdrop in a solid tag team and have her be a tag team champ
first,
but also they need to make more championships for the women's division.
Yeah. They
just have the two and then the tag team, and they only have one set of tag team.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
Huh?
I said I agree.
Yeah.
Well, they have.
I guess they have the 24/7 championship now,
but yeah, because I guess because you can't make the other ones like, I don't know. If you let women wrestle the men for like the Intercontinental, the United States Championship, I'd be okay with that. But also,
right. Yeah, I just think I don't know. I think there's a solution. I think the women's division should have more championship opportunities.
At least a SmackDown tag team.
At the very least, a SmackDown tag team championship.
And then maybe one like floater championship that can be anywhere.
Yeah. And
either brand.
Whether it's like their own national champion or, you can
think of a fun name. It's not like the Divas champion or whatever the fuck.
Whatever you
bullshit of the past.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would agree with you. I was thinking about that. Because I'll tell you later. Basically in the 30 men like the Rumble match, it shows like every championship. The women's they didn't even like comment on it on the WWE website. What's that about? So I had to add them, and there just aren't as many champions. But anyway, next up. Now let's do the Rumble matches, okay? Because I don't want to talk about the big ones yet. So let's do the Rumble matches. So let's start with the men's Rumble match.
Yes.
So in each Rumble match, there's 30 people. They come out one at a time. What is it, like every 5 minutes or something?
Something like that.
Love the premise of it. I think intros are my favorite part of wrestling. You know it very well. Every time, like, Seth Rollins comes out.
Right.
Shinsuke Nakamura. Like, I'm there. I'm up. I'm dancing. Right. I'm, singing along, whatever. So to get 30 intros, I couldn't ask for anything more. Oh, I love it so much.
Now, half the time, they kind of skip the full thing and they just kind of run.
They do. Like,
but some of them I feel like are going to make a time out of it. Like when Shinsuke Nakamura can't come out
without Rick Boogs.
Right.
Leading the way. I guess he could. We'll see. But so let's go through the declared contestants. So there are 25 officially, but there are 30 total. So we have 5 mystery men. So the confirmed contestants are Shinsuke Nakamura, our Intercontinental Champion, Rick Boogs, Ricochet, Mr. O'Shea, Omos, Randy Orton, Riddle, Otis, and Chad Gable. Those are our Raw Tag Team Champions. Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, Kevin Owens, Big E, AJ Styles, Damian Priest, our United States Champion, Johnny Knoxville, Sami Zayn, Kofi Kingston, Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss, Sheamus, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, and Austin Theory. So it's a pretty good group of guys.
Yeah.
And we do have a lot of pairs, like Shinsuke and Rick, Randy and Riddle, Otis and Chad Gable, like a bunch of teams.
Big Bob and Dolph Ziggler.
Fucking Big Bob.
I love that name for him.
Happy and Madcap Moss. I would love for that friendship to end over someone throwing the other out of the Rumble.
Yeah.
But
the Mysterios.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see the relationships tested in this, or if they're tested at all, or if some third party throws them out or whatever. But
right.
do you have, let's start here. Do you have any predictions on possible mystery last minute entries running up?
I think, and this has not been more than rumors from the internet. I think Jon Moxley is going to show up in the Royal Rumble. He was formerly Dean Ambrose, member of the Shield. Two of them are fighting. And
everyone's been asking for him the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, so I think Jon Moxley will show up, which will be interesting because he's wrestling for AEW.
Yeah. But we have other confirmed contestants that are wrestling for other companies.
Yeah. And again, this type of match is like, you can do that.
Yeah.
It's not cross promotion more than just like a throwaway. Like they come in, they do their thing for a bit, and then they dip out.
Because it's not going to be like, most likely, if you're coming in from a different company, it's not going to be like a full match and then you win. And
if anything, I mean, I'll be honest, the reason I haven't really gotten into AEW is no disrespect to anyone at that promotion, not at all. But, well, maybe a couple people.
Maybe a little
only
disrespect.
Because, not the fans, but, well, the fans are kind of annoying online. But I don't like the idea of them constantly being like, oh, you're such a shitty wrestler, you should be wrestling for hustle, loyalty, and respect, or whatever. I'm
their whole, like, a big part of it's just being like,
just digs at WWE, and I'm like, you can stand on your own 2 feet. That's what's more impressive. And also, that's a high place to be talking from when literally half of your big superstars were at the WWE first. Anyway, that said, though, AEW is very popular, so it would be smart if you have to build that relationship,
have a little cross promotion,
and bring him over every now and again.
Do you think what is his name? Moxley?
Jon Moxley.
Do you think if he does enter the Rumble, will it be as Jon Moxley or would it be as Dean Ambrose?
Now that's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know, because Seth Rollins referred to him as Mox a couple of hours ago.
For Mox.
Yeah.
So. Is that his real name?
It might be. So I would imagine he comes out as Jon Moxley. The fans would know.
Yeah.
But also, there is a precedent for that because Kevin Nash has made a couple of surprise entries at the Royal Rumble in years past. And some years he comes out as Kevin Nash. Other years he comes out as Diesel, which is a character he had before he started using his own name.
Interesting.
So
it could be anything.
Yeah. But I do think he'll pop up. It would be cool if The Undertaker showed up, but he just retired last year. So I could see him maybe not.
He's in 2K.
He's in 2K, yeah. I mean, he just did that movie on Netflix with WWE. So I think that would be cool. I'm not sure. I mean, my answer is always going to be the same as to who I would like to make a surprise appearance.
Because you mentioned it yesterday when we were talking about it.
So this is a big theory. Are we good to talk about theories real quick?
Yeah, go for it, my guy, as long as it pertains to this one.
So, yeah. So, my theory is that the surprise entry would be the busiest man in the world right now, Mr. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It probably won't happen. I'll say that much. It probably won't happen. But if Dwayne Johnson, if The Rock showed up in the late numbers and won to main event at WrestleMania, he wouldn't have to show up until WrestleMania.
Yeah. You even mentioned, what if he came in number 30?
Yeah.
And just came in and then like threw out whoever, and then that sets up a Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Right.
Which would be amazing.
Yeah, because again, Roman's whole thing right now, and I love this storyline, is that I've beaten everyone.
I'm on God mode. I'm the greatest of this generation.
So it would be so cool to see
him be humbled
Yeah,
by
The
his
Rock
own family member.
and Roman Reigns. And also, they set up a little bit of that with Seth Rollins saying like, oh, you embarrass your family, blah, 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 blah.
Cousins, your uncles, your dad, whatever. That's what I'm saying. And it was so bizarre. We all thought that, well, we didn't all think, but we all were speculating that The Rock was going to come back after they did that weird ass.
At Survivor Series.
Yeah, before Survivor Series. There was that whole thing and they mentioned him by name. And I thought he was going to come back.
Yeah.
And then he didn't. It would make more sense to me in my head. I'm really doing some mental gymnastics to try to make this make sense. But it would make more sense for him to come out for something as big as Royal Rumble to set up something as big as a match against Roman Reigns for WrestleMania. And like you said, he wouldn't really need to be there besides those 2 days.
Right. And I mean, I think he wouldn't wrestle except for those 2 days.
He might come back for like, I'm going to kick your ass, for an appearance. Boy.
Finally, The Rock. Yeah. So.
Oh my God. Imagine me, because you've seen The Rock before, live. Imagine me seeing The Rock live.
Yeah.
So crazy. But also he's super busy. And
he's
getting
man in the
old.
Yeah.
He's so fucking jacked. More jacked than he was in the WWE.
If The Rock really, really wanted to.
He's capable.
He could jump back in.
If we have Goldberg out here.
Yeah.
Spearing people.
No disrespect to Goldberg.
No, but he's old.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, that said,
they could do it.
If The Rock wanted to come back for a couple matches, it'd be no problem.
Yeah. That's also, I think, my like biggest theory of the night.
Yeah, and again, I think it would be cool. It's a dream scenario.
Yeah.
And it's also part of it is just like, it's just that wanting, like it's such an iconic person like that, and they just like, I just want one more. It's like wanting to see Rocky fight one more time.
One more.
Quite literally, Rocky in this.
Good one.
Thanks. But if that's a big theory. Now, if we're just using the folks in who we have confirmed
to us,
there's a couple folks I would be happy with winning. Do you have any big theories about the Rumble, or are you kind of on the same page as I am?
I'm kind of on the same page as you are. There are a lot of people where I wouldn't be upset. There are some people where I very much would be upset.
Right.
If Robert Roode wins Royal Rumble, I'm going to be livid. But if Randy Orton wins Royal Rumble and then challenges fucking Roman Reigns, that'd be a good match.
Yeah, there's a few folks on here that I would be super excited for. Johnny Knoxville.
I think we can all say with some definite. Is that a word?
Definity?
Definity. Thank you. I think we can all say with some definity that Johnny Knoxville is not going to win.
I hope he gets relatively far.
I think Johnny Knoxville will get in. He'll get Sami Zayn out, and then he might get out after that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be in there for the long haul.
I don't know. I think he's going to take a beating. I think he'll get Sami Zayn out, but I think he's going to take a beating.
I think he strikes me as the type of person where if he's going to do it, he's going to want to get the full experience.
Exactly.
Do you think any of the other Jackass guys, because we know that they were all together yesterday because I saw a video of Brock Lesnar
I have to see this.
Power bombing fucking Wee Man into a table. So we know that they were all together yesterday night. Do you think any of them will show up?
Yes.
Do you think Wee Man will show up?
I think they're going to show Wee Man in a hospital gurney or something like that.
That's possible. I think he was fine. I think he got up after.
No, I mean I think he's actually fine.
But here's the thing. I don't think it was like like it looked like they were maybe in like a restaurant or like a hotel. Like it wasn't in WWE, so I don't know what tables they're smashing through. Anyway.
I mean, the WWE does not. They will pay someone to wreck their shit, like that store, Booker T and Stone Cold.
True.
Oh my God.
The good old days.
But I'd be happy with Randy Orton. I'd be thrilled with Randy Orton. I'd be even more thrilled with Riddle.
Yeah.
If Riddle won the
Riddle.
WWE, or if he won the Royal Rumble. Of course, because I don't think his reign was long enough. I would love to see Big E. Yeah. And honestly, I'd be happy with Sheamus winning the Rumble.
Sheamus, after that match with Ricochet where he
broke.
He stepped on.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name?
Ridge Holland.
Ridge Holland's fucking nostrils, broke his nose. And then
he just carried the match.
Sheamus just had to like improvise.
Yeah.
Because that was at the very beginning of the match. I have such like a newfound respect for Sheamus. I liked Sheamus before. I think he's great. I think the whole mask thing is pretty funny. And I love the way he says words, but
right. But as a performer, that's huge respect.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I wouldn't mind. Or Montez Ford. I love Montez Ford.
Yeah, I was gonna say for me, again, going back to just wanting one more shot. I'd love to see Rey Mysterio win the Rumble. I'd be happy with Dominic Mysterio, but I would really love to see Rey. Just because, again, he's just one of the... I have a very soft spot for the OGs that like I used to watch when I was a kid that are still doing stuff. So like Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio.
It'd be insane if Dominic Mysterio won. I don't think he's ready for that yet.
I don't think he's ready for that yet either. But I'm excited for him to be in this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those are the folks that I would be like super, like I'd be content with.
If Austin Theory wins...
I'd also be okay with like, I left this name out. I don't know why I left these two names. AJ Styles. I'd be okay with.
I like AJ Styles.
Damian Priest. I'd be okay with.
Damian Priest has been on like.
Yeah, I'm almost ready for him
crazy
to lose the United States champion.
He's been United States champion for quite some time.
I'm ready for him to lose it so that he can make
bigger.
Yeah, get a title run with one of the bigger titles. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I love the Royal Rumble. It's so much fun. And I'm just, this is my first one since we started watching wrestling. So I'm just super excited.
15 years or something.
Yeah, I mean, because I stopped watching for so long. Yeah. So, super excited.
So we have the men's covered. So let's talk about the women's Royal Rumble. Woo!
Ooh, I called this entry last night when everyone decided to start coming out to the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, is my girl Sasha gonna show up? And my girl Sasha showed up.
You did also call that. You're really good at calling stuff. Okay, so the men had 25 official entries. The women only have 23, which leaves a little bit more surprises. And we were kind of upset that they spoiled. I combined those two words. They spoiled a bunch of like pretty big names, like names that I knew as someone who didn't watch wrestling until last year.
Right.
But knowing that there are still 7, I'm like, okay, we have some opportunity for a little bit of surprise.
Which makes me think they're hiding something big.
Yeah.
So
the 23 declared contestants are Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, Sonya Deville, who is also a WWE official. Not quite sure how that
Zaddy
works.
Deville.
Zaddy Zaville. Zaville. Liv Morgan, Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champion, Naomi, Rhea Ripley, Nikki ASH, Brie and Nikki Bella, Carmella and Queen Zelina are Raw Tag Team Champions, Lita, Michelle McCool, Kelly, which I love that name. Yeah. I know nothing about that person, but Kelly is a great name. Mickie James, Tamina, Shayna Baszler, Summer Rae, Aaliyah, and Shotzi.
Yeah.
And Dana Brooke. I don't know if I said that, but she's the 24/7 champion.
Oh, you had her listed here. I think you did, but
I think I was so. Did I say Natalia either?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I was just so hung up on Kelly being such a good name that I thought I might have skipped some. So yeah, is it common? I made a note because I had a question. Charlotte Flair is the SmackDown Women's Champion. It's not common for them to be in the Rumble.
So when I used to watch the Royal Rumble, generally speaking, no, I don't think it's very common for the titles,
3, I guess,
to be in a Royal Rumble match. Mm-hmm. When I used to watch wrestling back in the day, there was no women's Rumble.
Gotcha.
So I'm super excited to see my first women's Rumble.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
They just couldn't handle it, I guess.
I mean, they did plenty of other shit like the stupid bras and panties matches.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
We absolutely. Yeah, it's very exciting. But in general, no, it's not common for any of the heavyweight champions or like world champions
Because you're the one that's going to be at at WrestleMania.
Right.
Well, if you maintain.
Right.
So I don't know. They're setting up. It's possibly setting up something. It could be nothing. It could just be like a gimmick, kind of, and also a way to have Charlotte Flair in that match because she's amazing.
Right.
But it could also be a setup for like, oh, it's the first time in history that the champion gets to decide, something like that. I think they're also possibly setting something up with Bianca Belair because they made a point to say during their whole like stats breakdown, which I think they have an infographic on the WWE Twitter showing that stat breakdown. Super interesting stats. But they mentioned that if did Big E win last year's Royal Rumble? Who was that won the men's Royal Rumble?
I don't know.
But they specifically said if Bianca Belair wins this year's Royal Rumble, she'll be like the first woman to ever win it back to back.
Yeah.
And only one of like
She'll be the first person. Yeah, she'll be the first person in 24 years.
Yeah.
To win back-to-back Rumbles.
And there have only ever been like
3. I think 3 others.
3 or 4. Yeah, something like that. So and again, that could be nothing, or that could be then setting up like, and if anyone deserves it, it's Bianca Belair.
Absolutely. Yeah, she was another one whose title run was very abruptly ended.
Yeah.
So I would love to see her get another shot at I kind of would like to see her back on SmackDown. I don't know why I miss her on SmackDown.
Well, that would be a good way to do it.
Yeah. And even if Charlotte won, Charlotte might, that could also be a thing because she wants to pick her own.
Right.
But
I feel like if she picked her own, she would probably pick. Can she pick Becky Lynch?
In theory.
Or
if
Sasha
they unify
Banks.
the titles, which would be dumb, but if they did.
Yeah.
Personally speaking, I think that would be dumb.
To unify the titles when there are only like
when there's only
3.
2. Yeah. So anyway, I love that Lita's gonna pop up.
Yeah. I knew Lita. I knew who Lita. Well, I knew of Lita, and I'd heard the name Mickie James, and I knew the Bella twins because one of them was married to John Cena.
They were engaged, I think. I don't know if they ever actually got married.
Okay.
But they are not together now.
I knew that too.
And
I'm glad Sonya Deville wasn't. I figured she would be,
right.
but I'm glad that she had like a moment to declare.
She had an awesome match last night.
She had an awesome match, and I'm glad that she lost.
Yeah.
Fucking Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
Eat that with a spoon, bitch. I love you though. I love you.
Don't talk to daddy that way.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to see Naomi fucking throw her off. If Sonya Deville won the Royal Rumble,
could you fucking imagine?
That would be insane. It'd be a huge, like her being a contestant again, just being like a competitor.
Right.
I love it.
I want a few moments of just like Rhea Ripley and
Nikki
Bianca
ASH.
Belair.
Oh, yeah.
And who?
Nikki ASH.
Oh, well, yeah, but I know that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
But like I feel like everyone on Raw wants to see Bianca and Rhea Ripley, and they haven't done that fucking match. They've teased it, but they've never done anything with it.
Yeah, I need a full match.
Just because they're both awesome, and I feel like they're pretty equally.
And a lot of both of their thing is that they're very strong.
Yeah. So who do you think might be some of these surprise entries?
I feel like I had one in my head, but I lost it.
I think we are going to see, even if it's just for one night, I think we're going to see the return of Paige.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that.
I think Paige is going to make an appearance, and I hope she does so safely.
Because she got injured.
She left with a pretty gnarly injury.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be super cool to see, because she started and retired before, like that was all years before we got into it.
Yeah.
And she was also a big part of like the women's revolution. So it would be awesome to see, especially if she got a moment in there with Sasha Banks. They're actually very close friends in real life.
Yeah.
But just because of that history of her injury.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it would mean a lot to Sasha to for them to share a moment in the ring.
Yeah.
But anyway, I know she had a surprise entry a few years ago, but I think Trish Stratus is another one who might pop up.
I've heard that name.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I don't know a lot of female wrestlers.
Right. Well, Mickie James, who used to wrestle for the WWE, I think she's at Impact, I think. And she's a champion over there, so it's kind of cool that she's coming back for the Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. Because there's not like they haven't had the same huge history or like stardom.
Right.
As like, there's no equivalent of like The Rock coming back on the women's side yet. Because they just haven't had that opportunity.
Right. And again, it could be just speaking from a place of a little bit of ignorance in the, just in terms of not knowing
people.
Yeah, not having that much history, not having that much knowledge of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the big return is going to be Paige.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, Taza? Taza 1000.
Oh, that reminds me. Someone followed us while we were offline.
Oh yeah, I see it.
I think it's Michael or Michelle or Michal.
Michael E. McIntosh.
Thank you for following if you're watching.
But yeah, so
do you think any of the recently released women might come back for a night?
Nia Jax.
I was thinking Nia Jax. I don't know, because I don't know what all goes on with that. If there's any like bitterness or resentment, because there's a lot of times like with Toni Storm, people just ask to be released.
Right.
So I wonder if any of those people will come back.
Just hey, look who we got another follow.
Nice. Oh, thank you, Taza.
Thank you, Taza.
Thank you for following.
I guess it depends on the case, because some people are released and then brought back.
Right.
I would love if what's her name, Tegan Knox.
Yes.
That would be cool to get.
She was like Shotzi's partner.
Shotzi and Knox back.
Do you think, this is the one that I had in my head that I forgot. Do you think, even if she doesn't compete, we might see Bayley? I would love for Bayley to come back. Ronda Rousey also
That's
good.
another person I thought. Yeah. Thank you for jogging that memory.
Yes, thank you.
See,
I needed help.
Yeah. Well, already coming through, Taz. I appreciate you.
Just follow. I don't know, because Bayley, when she went out in July,
right?
It was 9 months, and it's only been 7.
Right. But I mean, I think that's a projected thing. I mean,
so if she healed quicker, and it's the end of the month technically. It's almost 8 months.
So
I don't know. It's possible. I would love to see Bayley back.
Yeah, me too. I didn't realize we only got to watch her for a little bit, but I didn't realize how much of an impression she would make.
Yeah, especially because the very first time I was like, she is annoying, but I didn't really quite understand like wrestling personalities yet.
Right.
But I love Seth Rollins, and she reminds me of Seth Rollins. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to see the two of them. I would love to see Bayley return. I would like to see Ronda Rousey return. I think it's time. She wasn't ever released. I think she was just.
Didn't she have a baby?
Yeah, she had a kid.
Doesn't she have beef with some people in the WWE?
I'm sure, but that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that is actual like real beef.
Yeah, it might all be.
That would be a good one. Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, and I mean, she could be the surprise person to win, because then she could get a shot at one of the titles.
Yeah.
And if I think that'd be a very interesting entry. I think that's very possible. And maybe probable, actually, now that you're mentioning it.
But yeah, I don't know of really any other big names. So I guess we'll see, because there are 7 people.
Hopefully they bring back some of the members of Hit Row. We don't know.
You mean some of the women? There's only the one.
Well, I just meant between both matches.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
If
I was Hit Row, I don't know if I would.
I'd be like,
they did them so dirty.
Yeah.
Oh, could surprise competitors be people from NXT?
Yes.
Do you think they'll bring back that one, I forget her name, who was like Sonya Deville's like real life best friend?
Oh, Mandy Rose?
Yes.
That would
be an interesting entry.
Yeah. Maybe they'll bring donuts.
She was the one that made Sonya Deville leave, basically, in her match.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
That was the what is it called? Like
the I Quit match or whatever.
Yeah, that was her competitor. It was Mandy Rose.
Yeah,
and then Mandy Rose won.
Huh?
That could be interesting. She also has a lot of history with Otis.
Otis, the walking thumb.
Oh, walking thumb was so good. And I remember I took a note during one of these episodes of, I think it was Raw, of what I wanted my stream name to be. And I looked at that note today, and it just said Barnacle Boy, and I have no context for what that meant. I think Big E said it. Maybe Kevin Owens said it. I don't know who said it, but it was just Barnacle Boy, and I was like, I don't know what that means, so I stuck with Bloodline bitch.
But yeah,
I'm excited. So, okay, so we talked about the Rumble matches. Now let's get into these big old championships.
Which one are we starting with?
Let's start with the WWE Championship.
All right.
Which is going to be Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. From what I can tell, this was a highly requested match, and everyone's very excited.
Yeah. Oh, I'm stoked for this match.
I think it's going to be a big, powerful match. But after Brock Lesnar called Bobby Lashley Lobby Bashley a Brock Lesnar wannabe, I was like, damn, they do kind of have a very similar trajectory.
Right.
Because they were both these guys. MMA fighters?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
They both started in WWE and then moved over to MMA
and they're both
UFC.
Fucking massive.
That's the thing, is like I forget how can I say. So like when you look at Bobby Lashley, you see like every fucking defined muscle in the human body.
Yeah.
And I forget how massive. So like you look at him, and he's huge.
Yeah.
I see a picture of Brock Lesnar, and I'm like, oh yeah, sure, that's Brock Lesnar. When you see him next to other people, I'm like, that motherfucker's big.
Yeah, he's big. Oh, careful now. Put me down now.
So, yeah, I think that's, I mean, at its core, I talk about this all the time to Kendra, how wrestling and sports entertainment, it's all theater. So in its roots, go back to, gladiator fights for entertainment. This is truly, people just have that, they want to see two giant dudes just beat the shit out of each other. So that's really why people are excited. But props, I will say this, props to WWE for making the call. Because I'm sure that was not an easy decision.
Yeah, the circumstances behind this match are a little crazy.
Yeah, because Brock was supposed to face Roman Reigns at day one for the Universal Championship, but then Roman had COVID, and on the fly, they just were like, all right, we're going to put him in a fatal 5-way.
Yeah, for the WWE Championship.
And then he fucking wins.
And then he won it. I still can't believe that, because I was like, oh, he's the one person who won't win. He can't win because he wasn't scripted to win, because they just shoved him in last minute. First of all, great match, all things considered. Second of all, he fucking won.
Yeah. And because of that, we also had an awesome fatal 4-way the very next night.
A big fatal 4-way for a Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. That match was...
That match was insane.
Yeah. Fucking jumping off from the audio.
Kevin Owens really went for it. I love Kevin Owens.
I like Kevin Owens.
I love him as a heel too.
I think I like heel Kevin Owens more than I like face Kevin Owens.
Same, yeah. He looks like a child in the face. He looks like a fourth grader.
He's so funny.
He's so funny
as a heel. But yeah, I'm very excited for this. And so I had an answer coming into this, but a buddy of mine sent me a theory.
Okay.
That kind of changed my mind. It didn't change my mind, but it changes things if it happens this way.
Okay.
Would you like for me to share?
Yes.
Okay. So a buddy of mine, I don't want to dox him or anything, so I'm not gonna say his name.
Tell me off stream.
Yeah.
Spit it out, boy.
Sorry. So he says that Brock is going to so he's suggesting that Brock will win.
Okay.
And that Brock is going to interfere in Roman's match, costing him the title. Then, this is the whole theory.
Okay.
Then Kevin Owens is going to win the Rumble and face Seth at WrestleMania. Roman will face Brock for the WWE title, win the title, and switch brands. And I was like, that's a lot. That's a lot to process.
That's a lot.
But I'm like,
it's plausible.
That's pretty goddamn plausible.
I mean, it wouldn't be bad.
Before I read that, I was like, I'm calling it. Bobby Lashley's gonna win the title. And then we'll see Roman versus Brock. Or I don't know. We'll finally get that match. Or champion versus champion. I wouldn't want to see that, but we'll get that match.
Right.
But yeah, so
that
I don't know.
Changes things. Yeah, now I really, because Brock Lesnar, in my head, was never supposed to be WWE champion anyway. Like, sorry about that. All bets are off. Like, I have no idea. I have no idea who would win this match. I don't know. Like, I made no prediction. That is an insane story, but I mean, it would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Especially seeing Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. They're too close and they're too disingenuous to actually be friends. Right. So seeing them go against each other would be pretty good. I don't know. And I did say that I think Roman Reigns will be Universal Champion. I don't know. We're not talking about that one yet. But I did say that I think Roman Reigns will be
Try again.
Universal Champion long enough to beat Brock Lesnar's record, which he did. And then I think it would change hands at something big. I said WrestleMania, but Royal Rumble is the first step.
It's the road.
In the road to WrestleMania. Right. So I don't know. It's possible.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's crazy.
Yeah. And
crazy things have happened.
Yeah. And also, I like the storyline that they've set up with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Again, a very props to the writing team at WWE for
another thing that they had to fucking pull out of their ass.
Yeah. Sorry, my cat's looking very cute. I had to give him a pet.
Oh, hello. He's upside down.
So, I mean, I'm just excited for this match. Especially they did a fucking weigh-in, which is hilarious.
Never seen a weigh-in before.
Yeah, I know.
And also we got both people have hype men in Paul Heyman and MVP.
That's the real match I want to see.
I want to see them just talk to each other. Hello, we're busy.
I hope they both come out as guest announcers. Oh my god, not commentators. They wouldn't stop talking over each other. No, just announcers so they can each announce their own person.
I guess Paul Heyman already kind of does that. That'd be fun.
I love anytime MVP's in Miami.
MVP is a different person in Miami. He's his true form in Miami.
He's talking smack.
He's diluted everywhere.
He's speaking Spanish.
MVP's hilarious. They're both hilarious.
I'm excited for this. I'm excited to see these two beefy men just beat the hell out of each other.
Hey yo.
And I'm predicting that Bobby Lashley will at least spear Brock through the barricade again. Seems to be a go-to move, which is fine. I'm okay with it. But also, I like the face turn that they've done with Bobby Lashley. I hope they kind of keep him as a face. And I would like to see him as a champion, as a face. I like the whole heel, almighty, blah blah blah.
Right.
But
we had a lot of that though.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see this new direction for him.
Yeah. I have no prediction. My prediction is I have no prediction because who fucking knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, and Brock's his appearances are so sporadic, and you never know when he's going to show up.
He's already been here longer than I thought.
Yeah. And he only ever wrestles at, main events. Yeah. Or not main events, but at pay-per-views. Yeah. So.
Stop messing with whatever you're messing with.
It's my pen. I'm sorry.
Stop. Yeah. That's going to be a good one. It's going to be a big one. Who knows? Next up. I think this is the final match we're going to talk about today. This is for the WWE Universal Championship, and it is Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. So, they've got some history here. Oh, and Jimmy and Jey Uso are barred from ringside, rightfully, as they should be. they should never be allowed ringside for any match that Roman Reigns is in. But yeah, this whole Shield stuff happening, I actually knew about it because I don't know how I knew about it, but I think it was just that big of like an event, Seth Rollins betraying the Shield, that it even crossed my radar. So I'm really excited to see them together. I love them both.
Yeah.
And they've got very different personalities. Mm-hmm. It's weird to think that they were ever on the same team. Yeah. With the other.
Well, especially last night, fucking Seth Rollins just went full Joker.
Full Joker.
Make Seth Rollins the Joker. I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I'm really excited for this one too. They again, I like the storyline a lot that they're doing with it. And both of these guys can put on a main event. So
I think every Roman Reigns match and every Seth Rollins match I know is going to be good.
Right.
Cuz they're just so good on their own that like whatever they're in, it's going to be entertaining.
Right. And
so I can't even imagine what this is going to be like.
And we'll probably see Jimmy and Jay show up. But if Jon Moxley's in the Rumble, who's to say that he won't show up
too
and help out Seth Rollins?
Would he help out Seth Rollins or would he help out Roman Reigns?
Ooh, he did betray. Yeah, maybe.
Betray them both.
Oh.
I don't know. Also, what was I going to say? What the hell was that?
Oh, my hand.
Oh, my gosh. I can't remember.
Awesome.
This is the way. I never remember anything.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I was going to say, fuck you. I was going to say, there's this whole, they mentioned it during Seth Rollins' monologue last night. Mm-hmm. Roman's whole thing is like, oh, I've smashed everybody in the locker room. Can't smash any more people. Has he never? Well, Seth Rollins said he's never beaten him when it mattered.
Right.
So I'm interested in like, is Seth Rollins the one that like he can't beat? I don't know.
That's why it's such an interesting storyline.
And this one is also kind of born of a weird circumstance. So in my head, I'm like, Roman's going to retain.
Right.
But I also don't know.
And also, if Roman Reigns loses the title tonight, it perpetuates what Paul Heyman's been saying.
True.
About how without Paul, he can't keep doing it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my gosh, if Roman loses, it's going to cut to Paul Heyman. He's going to be like, little Paul Heyman creepy little smile.
But then again, that really sets up. I told my boy, I was like, if you're right, if you call all of this, I'm gonna travel to wherever you are and I'll buy you around because like that is insane.
But I don't know. Some people are really good at predicting that shit. I'm just not one of them.
So yeah, I'm just like, it would lend itself well to the story that we've set up, and it'd also be a nice way to get Roman to switch brands. Could you imagine Raw with Roman Reigns?
I can't. Raw now, it's like
stacked.
It's so stacked. Right. I'm not just on my phone, I promise. I'm going to see if they announce the kickoff show. Kickoff match.
Oh, right.
But yeah, it's like I almost wouldn't want them to. Just because then Raw would be so stacked.
Right.
And I mean, they'd have a way to even it out, but
whew,
Raw right now is like,
well, it has to be their 3 fucking hours
before the draft. Those 3 hours dragged.
Yeah.
And now it feels like
it's got a better pace.
I'm more excited for Raw than SmackDown.
Oh, wow.
Which is saying a lot because the love of my life is on SmackDown.
Right.
But I don't know. Raw's just so good.
Yeah. I think hopefully they do another draft this year, and because I don't know if it's an annual thing.
I think it's an annual thing.
I hope it is. I'd like to see I like a lot of the people where they're at, But I think SmackDown. That's why I was saying it before about like I'd like to see Bianca Belair back on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sorry. Woo.
Wow.
Sleepy. They have not yet announced any sort.
It's okay.
They hate me. Why did they announce one last month or earlier this month?
Yeah, this is the second pay-per-view this month.
Yeah. Is that typical?
Are there any final thoughts you have on the Rumble? I know I'm excited for chicken wings.
I'm excited for chicken wings. Yeah, I haven't had chicken wings in 3 weeks. But no, I don't know. I'm really excited for my first live Royal Rumble. I'm going to keep my mind open, and I'm going to keep my predictions
to a minimum.
And I'm not going to put a lot of weight on them. I'm not going to be super disappointed if whoever I want to win doesn't.
Right.
Because again, at the end of the day, most of the time, I trust the WWE to write it in a way that I will come to appreciate. Even if I don't in the moment, like Becky Lynch.
Yeah. More importantly, though, we want to know what y'all think. Are y'all excited for the Royal Rumble? Who do y'all think is going to win all the various matches and the Rumbles?
Do you think The Rock's coming back?
Do you think Rocky's coming back?
Do you think Dwayne's coming back?
What if he came back as Rocky Maivia?
I mean, that would really be a throwback. People would be like, who? And then he comes out and they're like, oh.
And he comes back out. So he shows up as like entry number 3 as Rocky Maivia. And then like
he gets
entry
out.
number 23 as The Rock.
That would be actually really funny. I mean, I would be upset if one person took up like 4 slots, but if they had a bunch of different, like, who is that one guy? Yes.
Yeah, he shows up as Mick Foley, as Dude Love, as Cactus Jack, as Mankind.
He just keeps showing up. Technically, these characters haven't gotten out yet. That would be really funny, but yeah, I'd be upset.
Yeah, so we will find out. I don't know if they've already announced it. We will find out the date of the next WWE pay-per-view. But if it lands on the date I think it lands on, there may be a chance that we won't be doing a pay-per-view for it because we will be out of town.
Let's not put that into the universe just yet.
I want them to know, just in case.
I think here's what I'll say. Even if we're out of town on the date that the actual pay-per-view is, we will film something ahead of time, or at least I will, and it just might not include the most recent Smackdown
edition of matches. Yeah.
Okay. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Right.
Which is in a month.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Keep your fingers crossed.
And yeah.
If you want to tweet at us live as the Rumble's happening, our Twitter's right down there.
Yeah, actually, and while you're looking for that Twitter, hit follow on it, and then also go to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and right here on Twitch, and follow and subscribe on all the various things.
Yeah, be like Tazza.
Be like Tazza.
Tazza's cool.
Tazza's fan.
If you're at all interested in people reading, I don't know, like episode mobile game stories, like I don't know if that's something that floats your boat, but a new episode, the finale of Kidnapped by a Prince, misleading title, will be uploaded tomorrow on our YouTube channel. So,
oh hell yeah!
And that's just me. Again, if you hate John, that's the show to go to. John is not a part of it. Just me. Am I in a wig? I don't know. You'll have to fucking. Am I in a tight-fitting children's blonde wig?
You guess you'll have to tune in.
You'll have to tell me. Yeah. Anyway,
like I said, be sure to follow us right here on Twitch so you can get notified when we start up our various streams. Sometimes we do what we call shallow dips, just where we talk about whatever various movies, shows, music we're listening to, all those things. And you can also find earlier episodes on Spotify if you are unable to or you prefer an audio version. Look us up on Spotify at the Perez Periodico Podcast Network. And I think that's everything.
I think so, yes.
Awesome. All right, y'all.
We'll see you at the Rumble, I guess.
Peace and blessings.
Bye.